Yeah, I'm sure you figured you'd get out of here without having to tell this story, but the Autosports Awards dinner as a kid and running into the then McLaren head.
Yeah, well, that was crazy because so when you win a championship, it's kind of like our music awards, but in a much smaller scale and not as cool. It's actually not really fun, but I was 10. We didn't have money for a suit. We borrowed it from a family who the kid had gone the previous year. So I had this green velvet suit that I borrowed from this kid, and my dad put together this little booklet with a space for an autograph, phone number, address, name, and all that kind of stuff. And we went round to. I went round. I didn't actually know. I knew of people, but I didn't know who was who by looking at their face. She's like, "Oh, that's so and so. That's so and so." So I'd go over and I'd say, "Hey, can I have your autograph?" and at that time, he said, "That's Ron Dennis, who owns the McLaren, and he builds Ayrton's car." And for me, bing, that's
because that was
my
your
favorite
hero.
driver.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, I want to go and see him. So I went up to him and I was like, "Yeah, one day I just won the British Championship, and one day I want to be in Formula 1 in your car and be world champion for you." 3 years later, he signed me, and then 10 years later, I won the world championship for him. So, kind of a cool story. And I still have that page. He said, "Phone me in 9 years, and I give you a deal."
You still have it?
Yeah, of course.
How well, if at all, do you remember getting into a go-kart for the first time on vacation in Ibiza?
I remember it like it was yesterday.
You do?
Yeah.
What do you remember?
I mean, when we got to Ibiza, we rented two. My stepmom we rented two scooters, so we were going around the city.
And how old are you then?
Must have been 4 or 5.
Wow.
And I remember sitting in the middle of the seat, in between my dad's legs while we were riding around on this scooter, this moped. And then we found this little track, and just had 3 corners, and my dad put me in the go-kart. And I remember driving, and straight away, on this 5 laps, whatever laps I did, I picked up this braking technique, and it happened that braking technique I used my whole karting career, and so I was at home already in that, and then I didn't get to drive a go-kart until I was 7 after that, a couple of years later. Yeah, who would have thought that now I'll be driving for one?
What did you most enjoy about those Sunday morning remote control race car experiences?
I love that it was different. I love cars, toy cars, whatever it may be. It was something that I was good at. I struggled at school. I struggled at everything else, and it was one thing that I could do and kind of not show off, but like kind of, "Hey, Dad, look what I can do." Whichever kid wants to see your dad smile and be proud of you for something. That was the one thing that I knew that I could make him proud with. So I strive to do it as well as I could in every way possible.
For more clips from this interview, visit GrahamBensinger.com.